What is going on, everybody? There's an old phrase that says power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I have to ask you a question. Do you believe that or do you not? And I'm not here to tell you that you should or should not. I'm here to ask you that question and then give you some data. And then you can make your own determination. Now, we're going down a bit of a rabbit hole here. Yesterday, the video that I put out about lung first, somehow or another, that video, the song that was in it or something like that, got that video demonetized. So if you guys want to support the channel, donations are accepted however you want to do it. And if you don't worry, we're still going to put out the content. But number one, let's talk about the important things. And before we get started, Terra Casino, for all your risk-based gaming needs or your sports wagering. Not only do they have casino, but there's also sports wagering. And guys, Chicago Cubs going crazy right now. One of the best records in Major League Baseball, so might be an opportunity for you to get a nice little win. Also, we're going to be giving away some more money. I'll make an announcement about that shortly. Folks, if you're trading crypto, then the best place in order to trade that crypto, Terraport.finance. They have a fantastic swap available for you at any and all times. Not only that, there are liquidity pools, staking pools, ways for you to earn while you sit here and hold your bag. Okay, guys, I want to point out something here that came up and that just passed me and came right. We have been silently building behind the scenes, and we have some good news to share. While we were silent, looks like the top 5 validators on the Luna Classic chain hold over 1/3 of the power. Okay, when you start looking at this, you're looking at the validators and stuff like that. Validators 1 through 5 hold a cumulative stake of 33.3% or more. Delegating to the validators below improves the decentralization of the network. So your efforts so far, or lack of effort so far, has created a centralized model of which in this centralized model, all nodes, Interstellar Lounge, Happy Caddy Crypto are controlling what happens to you. Now, you might say to yourself, well, that's not a big deal. That's no big deal. I like Interstellar Lounge. I like Happy Caddy Crypto. I love all nodes. I think they're all of the nodes, if you will. Don't know where that name came from. But if that's the case, go ahead and show me on the chart where it's working. I mean, is that fair enough? Are we having a fair enough conversation about this? Show me on the chart where it's working, because I can show you on the chart where it says, my brothers and sisters, we are about to go down to new lows. This is what the chart looks like. Now, there was a moment in time right over here when it looked like we were starting to get a little bit of a recovery, and this could just be a dip before the next rip. There's always that possibility. But if I'm reading this chart, we sure like this little range right here, and that range is coming down. So there is some certain opportunity here for, and by the way, when that bounce happens, if that happens, it's going to be less aggressive because it's still going to respect this top right here. So, what we're looking at is a very interesting sort of scenario playing out. We're looking at the consolidation and centralization of power on this ecosystem, and we're looking at you guys, and you're just letting it happen. And, you might look at it and say, well, no, it's not me, bro. Yeah, it is. Anybody who's validating with these guys, anybody who's allowing those people to have voting power, I mean, you're the ones, you're basically donating to them right now, a lack of progress on the blockchain. If you don't believe me, point to where I'm wrong. That's all I've ever said. All I've ever said. Show me on the chart where I'm wrong. And you won't be able to do that, and I know you won't be able to do that. So, before you leave a comment down below, I already know. Guys, if you consolidate power and you go down, consolidate power somewhere else. Okay? Find people who are diametrically opposed. Speaking of people who are opposed to what's going on right now, let's talk about my man Vegas. Because Vegas just put out Market Module 2.0. It's a net deflation engine that can now reopen. Net deflation engine that can reopen now, throttle itself as supply shrinks, and cannot be trick printed through stale prices. This is based on the original Terra Classic Module 2.0 draft, but incorporates mechanisms to avoid the mint burn, which caused concerns among several community members. So this is how it historically minted, and read through this. Okay, this is what we're doing. Currently, the burn checks is split 10% to the community pool, 10% to the Oracle pool, 80% to burn. To avoid any minting of tokens, it is proposed to redirect 60 to a temporary market module liquidity pool. While this reduces the immediate burn from the tax to 20%, additional burns will still happen each 30-day epoch. At the first block H of every 30-day epoch for each token separately, USTC and long. Each token that reached the market module liquidity pool is moved to a distinct swap pool of the market module. This is the amount of the token available for users to swap. This is progress, by the way. This is the equivalent of 75% of last month's burn tax of each token. Instead of using minting and burning when swapping through the market module, tokens are just taken from and added to this pool. At the start of the next 30-day epoch, all remainders in the pool are burnt. Okay, so they have a plan in place right now, and there should be some discussion as we go through this. Guys, I'm not a technical analyst on this. And there is a Q&A down here. I would encourage you to go read through this and understand it before voting, because it's not up for a vote yet, but it will be up for a vote. And by the way, this to me, as I've said, I think this fundamentally changes some of the way that we've been doing it. And what I think we should do is probably look at some data and see exactly what it is that we're going to get out of it and how it applies, how it helps, stuff like that, you know. But here's the thing. At the end of it, whether I see a huge result or not, we build it, okay? If we build it, they will come. I mean, that really reigns true. So I'm looking for this to be implemented as quickly as possible. Meme coins, utility coins, not really making a move, not too much going on right now. So we talked about the chart. We talked about how the validators who are now holding the majority portions are doing nothing for you. Today, the market is up $20 billion, but not Luna Classic. Now, that's not to say that this represents a problem. This is not a validator concern, if you're wondering, because, again, you know who I don't like. Bitcoin is up 1%. The money is going into Bitcoin right now. You can see that right up there. Now, VET down, XRP down, Ethereum down, Solana up but barely, Ondo down, SWE down, OM down. Going down the list here, it's mostly red. Okay, so what we're seeing is we're seeing a liquidity rotation into Bitcoin one more time for another potential leg up. It looks like, by the way, there could be some more downward momentum. I'm not saying that we're out of the woods. Donald Trump has been chaotic at best, and things are not going optimally for his administration so far, what with war and everything else that's been going on. So hasn't been an optimal scenario that's played out, but what we would like to see is some altcoins, right? So I'm not worried that it's not moving right now. Again, it's working with altcoins and the low end altcoins, not the top cap mid range. You know, we're at that small cap sort of range right now. So again, zooming in, I expect to see a move up into this range coming up very, very soon. That gets us back up to 407. That's not a big move. That's not the move that everybody's been thinking of. But again, I want to stress here multiple times, we've popped here, we've popped here, we've popped here. It is entirely possible that we're going to pop over here again, and that's going to put us down to some severe lows that we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, right? We are at the precipice here of either interest is going to spike and we're going to start seeing some growth, or we could see some people start to really get nervous. And you might be asking yourself, like, why would people get really nervous? Well, guys, it should be relatively easy for you to look here. The validators, they're the people that control everything, right? And the ones with the most voting power, they voted you here, okay? They voted you, and again, you can like them. I don't care what you think. Show me the data that proves me wrong. They have destroyed, virtually destroyed progress on this chain. Now, we have to do something different. We have to use validators who are looking out for the betterment of this ecosystem and not for their own self-interest or aggrandizement or whatever the case may be. And by the way, if I look around here and I start looking at some of these, I can make an argument right there that, we've kind of wicked out here and there's a lot more data points to come to. So it could be what I'm saying right now is going to be invalidated if we assume that that's a pivot. It doesn't feel like it, but if we assume that that is the pivot point right there, then maybe we are at that bottom, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much 6, 7 times that we've touched this range. So maybe And by the way, people are not targeting this range. This is just human sentiment slowly bleeding out as people are moving their money. Now, again, why are they moving their money? Well, because this is what your validators have done for you so far. Okay, but this is what the validators for Solana have done for you. They've pumped their chart. Remember, if this were Lunk, we'd be right here. We'd be down here in this $8, $9, $10 range. Like, that's where we would be. We would actually be down at the $6 range because we are lower right now than when it originally dumped. Okay, let that sink in. Now, again, this project, why would you put your money in Luna Classic if this is happening over here? What about Ondo? Well, why would you put your money in Luna Classic when you got this right here at 10 cents and it's now trading at 77 cents? You're up 6 or 7x. Why would you put it in Sui? Well, I mean, look at Sui. Sui is absolutely blowing up. So why would you be putting your money into Luna Classic? Guys, you have to look at the fundamental reasons about why you would or would not be putting your money into a project right now. And I mean, all you have to do is go look at the charts. And Bitcoin, oh, by the way, all-time high, just hovering at or near the all-time high. Now, it's unfair to compare any crypto really to Bitcoin from that standpoint. Bitcoin's adoption, it's the leader. You know what I mean? So it's unfair to do that comparison, but we don't have any other comparison. Okay? So this is what's going on. These are the real numbers right now. We are still at the bottom. We are still at the bottom. Now, we've had progress multiple different times on promises of certain pumps, things like that. This market module going to market could be the start of a significant rally. This is how rallies start when you get something like that. Now, doesn't mean that it will happen, just means that I think it's possible. So maybe we'll see something happen. Maybe we get lucky, you know what I mean? And we get a nice little pump and get some exit capital. So now let's talk about the rest of it, and that is USTC. USTC, same point. Data points. I've shown you the data points right now. What I would hope to see and what would be optimal is going to be a push above those ranges. Let's get that. Those are the daily numbers that I was giving you over there. Let's get those out of the way. And I mean, look, we're at the 200. We're right under the 50 MA at this point. Looking for a break above that. This applies to both of them, by the way. We look for a break above that. Go to the 200, which is going to be right around this 14 level, 1.4 cents, and then we're looking for a breakout above there. That's how we get bullish. This right here, this purple tells me that we're bearish. By the way, Luna Classic, just so you can see it. I mean, we were bullish for a little while over here through the early part of 25, and then boom. And that really, if you're above the 200 MA, we're bearish. If you're above, we're bullish. So it does not take very much right now, because you got to consider we're at 4075. It does not take much to get above that. And if we do, then we have confirmed bullish breakout, right? Now, here's the thing about that is it's not that far away. So it's going to happen naturally, and it's going to lead to a pump. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. It happened over here as we were doing this, and we were kind of meandering here sideways right there. It was a little bit further up. It was a little bit more bullish right now in its trajectory, but we only have a small portion of data. If we take this data where we got this big dump, okay, which is what we're looking at right here. We're looking at a big dump. All right, and then we look at the breakout right there, the breakout right there, the bearishness right here, the bearishness right here, the attempted reversal, and then the breakout, and then the breakout. So what do we have going on? Like, we're looking at the same pattern playing out one more time because this is kind of predictable. So I think that we're going to have a breakout. It doesn't go beyond this. Maybe, just maybe. But if we do, again, we get bullish. We get that bullish sort of breakout, and then anything can happen. That's the important part. Once you get above that, it doesn't happen. It doesn't have to happen like it happened before or the time before, anything like that. What could happen at that point is an actual breakout, because what that would look like would be that move takes us up to the top of the range. Then we come up to this region right here, and then we get a break above it, and then boom, now we start testing some of these highs. Now we'll probably get stuck right there at that 15 to 17 range for a little bit, but boom, it's going to take off. All right. So that's what I'm watching for. That's what I'm looking for. Now, it's not going to happen on a day when Bitcoin is set to soar. It's going to take a lot of capital come flooding back into the market. And remember, we were at 3.5 trillion in market cap just a short while ago. Right now, we're at 3.25. So 250 billion has come out of the market over the last 34 days, as opposed to money coming into the market. And by the way, if we look at this for the last 34 days, then we probably come up with the same thing. We probably look at this and we come over here 34 days and we see that we were quite a bit higher because that comes into this range right here. We were actually above 6s in the 66 range. So, you know, we're going along with the market. So, you know, maybe we'll get a breakout. But I don't. Look, again, we got to break out above this for something bullish to happen. Now, as far as volume is way down again, down 45%. Volume again, big time down over here. Leonardo, we've got Clay. Clay's been doing some stuff over here. If you saved your crypto keys as a photo on your phone, there's a new spyware targeting you. Yes, that as a matter of fact, watch out for some of these things. Anyway, Clay, here we go. Testnet deployment has been completed. If you haven't, Clayt is deployed on Terra Classic Rebel 2 testnet, so you can get started testing out on this right now. Maybe this is just going to be something crazy. And if you want to be bullish, if you want a reason to be bullish, the Fed Reserve Jerome Powell yesterday did say that you can now do crypto banking, that all banks can now institute crypto banking procedures. It's very bullish. As far as burns go, 575 million. Again, you know, my number, 2 billion. Not a lot today and yesterday. We didn't get that spike that we got the day before, but we've had some pretty good days. So maybe we'll see something happen right there. But the market module is the important thing. So if you stuck around for this, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.